guys, how's it going? Today's video is going to be a first impressions testing out high-end makeup type of video. I have two products here that I'm going to be testing out. This is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Longwear High Cover Foundation, and then this is the Cushion Blush Subtil from Lancome. These are both super expensive. This guy was $70 and this one was $45, which is so crazy. Those are both so expensive, and that is in Canadian pricing, just so you know. But I wanted to test both of these out today here on camera, and I'll check in with you throughout the day to let you know if I think that these are worth the money, because they better be magical for that type of price. So let's start off with the foundation. I'm going to read you the claims of it, and then we'll get into the application. So I just have the Sephora website here up on my phone. It basically says that it is full coverage. It is meant for all skin types. It has a satin, matte, radiant, and natural finish, which is very interesting, but that sounds perfect to me. Being both like a satin matte, radiant, and natural, like yes please. But it basically says that it is a liquid foundation that perfects full coverage wear with a velvet matte, lightweight second skin finish. And then it goes into some like science stuff over here. It says that it's an ultra light formula and creates flawless results for up to 16 hours, and that the texture melts into the skin, blurring the look of imperfections. And it says that it can also double as an under eye concealer, which is interesting. I don't think this shade will be light enough for me to do that, but we shall see. And basically the makeup artist for Giorgio Armani said that the idea of combining a long-lasting foundation with an invisible finish seemed like an oxymoron. So trying power fabric in the studio where skin needs constant retouching under the hot light, yet still needs to look perfect and fresh after many hours of shooting was the perfect testing ground. I was impressed. All right, Linda. So I got the shade 3.5, which says it is for fair skin with neutral undertones. There was a shade 3, which is for fair skin with a rosy undertone, which I feel like that might be better, but I'm gonna try this one out. This one does seem like it might be a little bit dark, but we will make it work. So I do have my little NYX sponge here, which I will be applying it with, and I'm just going to pin my hair back. All right. I'm going to start off, I want to try out this. I haven't used it yet. This is the Urban Decay Rehab Makeup Prep why can't I talk? Hot Springs Hydrating Gel. This has the coolest consistency. It's like bouncy almost. So I just want to try this out as a little bit of a primer, just for some hydration. That feels so nice. It is so lightweight. Like, it honestly just feels like it's a lightweight gel. How lovely. All right, so it comes in a nice little pump. I have not tried this yet. I was just looking at the shade last night, but it also has SPF of 25 in there, but it almost looks like that's like crossed out. So I feel like, I bet it's in there. They just had issues kind of like claiming that there's SPF in it. So I bet you there is SPF in here. I am just going to start by applying this. Ooh, guys, the shade looks good so far. It's a lot lighter than I was expecting. I also was just in Palm Springs for 5 days, and so I have a bit of a tan. You guys know me. I'm not much of one to get a tan, but for me, I actually do have a little bit of color in my skin. So I am just blotting this on. And you guys, this 100% has SPF in there. I can smell it. Oh no. Okay, so that is a very kind of like thin layer. It does look like a lot, but it's a very thin layer. Like I said, this is my damp NYX blending sponge. If I don't like the way the sponge is working, I will switch to a brush, but like 95% of the time I prefer using a beauty sponge with foundation. That's why I just have this guy out. So I am just going to start. Now, a big reason I wanted to try this out is because I'm a huge fan of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, which is more of like the dewy finish, I believe. This is going to have more of a matte finish, the one that I have on right now. And yeah, this is going on very nicely. I actually really like the shade. I think it is good. But yeah, that scent is actually quite strong. It doesn't bother me. I'm not like sensitive to fragrance, but if that is something that bothers you, might just want to be aware of that. It's going on like, I would say like medium to high coverage, like in the middle there. I wouldn't say that it is, you know, in comparison to like my Urban Decay All Nighter foundation, which is like the most full coverage foundation I own. it's not quite that full coverage, but it is covering up everything that I want it to. It's blurring everything out. It does have like a powdery finish to it, but you can see when I just wiped it there that it kind of like moved the product around. So it isn't one that like automatically dries down like the Urban Decay All Nighter or the Lancome Stick Foundation. I'm going to see if it can build up just a little bit in mainly this area right here. It did say it can double as an under eye concealer, so I'm assuming that means it could double as a concealer on other parts of your face. So I don't know if it built up that nicely. Like in this area, I feel like it kind of picked up the first layer, so this might be a product you just want to do one layer on, because I'm going to need to use a little bit of concealer in this area. But so far I think it looks really nice. It does have actually a very like satin matte finish. That is exactly the description, so they were correct on that part. So yeah, I am now going to try out the blush, but first of all I think we should take care of this situation. I'm going to get a little bit closer up to the camera here so you guys can see. I do like the way that this foundation looks, but not really in my problem areas. Like on my cheeks, my forehead, it looks very nice, just like, you know, a medium full coverage foundation with a kind of like satiny finish to it. But in my chin area where I do have some breakouts and some scarring and all of that, I feel like it's pronouncing that a little bit, unfortunately. But we'll see once I have the rest of my makeup on, because sometimes that can make a big difference. But before we do that, I am going to now go in with this blush. Now this is just a cushion blush. It says that it has vibrant color and buildable intensity. Mine is in this shade 032 Splash Coral, like a coral splash. So you open it up here, it does come with the little cushion guy, and then you open this up. It's like Fort Knox getting in there, and there's the actual product. Is that not so pretty? Now guys, I am going to attempt to put this on with this sponge. I feel like it's going to be really intense, and I am going to apply it right now before I go in with any powder products, since technically this is a liquid product, so I don't know if it will kind of like bunch up on top of powder and whatnot. But let's just, I think we should just go for it. I'm going to dip it in just kind of lightly because I'm scared. That is what it looks like. Okay, so the color is very pretty, but this little spongy guy is not working for me. I'm just now going to switch over to a little stippling brush just to blend it in, because yes, I get that it is a cushion blush. Oh, you can see that it picked up some of the foundation that was on my face too. Maybe I don't like that. I don't think I like the sponge. This blush, how do I feel about it? I actually do think that it gives a very like natural, pretty kind of just flush to the skin. I think it would be really nice to use on days when you don't have other makeup on in the summertime, maybe you have a bit of a tan happening, but it completely picked up all of that foundation that was underneath the blush, and so that's not good. Like now it almost looks like my foundation has like broken up, and I can see kind of like my freckles coming through, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but like I do have some areas that need coverage over here that it picked up that foundation. I feel like this is the type of product that I will actually like it more once the cushion depletes a little bit. It is just so completely soaked that when you stick your brush or the sponge in especially, a lot of product gets on there and it basically just like goes hard. It goes hard on the cheeks, but I think it's pretty. I think it has a nice, like I said, natural flush to it. I don't love that it picked up the foundation off of my face, but I'm going to go finish the rest of my makeup, and I'll decide when I finish if I want to apply more, and maybe we'll see if it goes better, if it works better on top of a powder, like once I have my under eye concealer on and all that stuff. So for all the other makeup I will be using, I'll link it down below so you guys can see in case you are curious. But yes, I will be right back. Alright, rest of my makeup is on. Quick update on the foundation. I actually really like the way that it looks. I just applied some powder, an Urban Decay kind of just like regular powder, not a powder foundation, but just something for this area to set it, and I think that it looks a lot better now. The blush is actually super pretty. It was so subtle. It really is, like the name implies, it is quite subtle, but it has that kind of like natural flush to it. But I do think that since it says it's buildable, that we should try to see if I can put it on top of my bronzer, and I have a little bit of highlighter on as well. So I'm gonna go back in with my stippling brush, just like the tiniest little bit here. I'm just being careful to use like patting motions, rather like dabbing rather than swiping, because I don't want to remove the makeup that's underneath, and it actually is going on very beautifully. I would say that this is a buildable product, and it works. Like it's going on top of highlighter and some bronzer and whatnot, and I think that it actually looks very nice, and I like that it's a little bit more noticeable now, because before you couldn't even really tell it was on my face. So yeah, I think that looks nice and I like it. And like I said, I like the foundation. We've got a bit of a bronzer line happening over here. So yeah, I'm actually on my way out of town today for work. I will check in with you guys throughout the day. When you see me, like my final check-in will probably be in my hotel room, but I will show you this all in natural light shortly here. So yeah, so far I really do like both of the products. Just from like initial application, I think that I really like this blush. I think that that is super pretty. And yeah, I like this foundation. Is it my absolute favorite foundation I've ever used? No, but I think that it looks nice, and you know, I'm ready to go for the day, so I will check in with you guys in a bit. Quickly, here is just a nice little like close-up, just so you can see what the blush looks like and what my skin looks like. I think that it's very nice. I like both of these products, like I said, so there's a little close-up, and yeah, I will check in with you in a bit. Oh, hey guys, just checking in from a parking lot here in Medicine Hat. I just drove here from Calgary, which was about 3 hours away. It is now just after 2 p.m. and I should have mentioned I put this on this morning around 8 a.m. So it has been on my skin for about 6 hours. And I just have to say that this foundation, I'm in the middle of, like, I don't hate it, but I don't absolutely love it. I do think that there are some areas around my chin and kind of like around my chin here, and also in this area where it's like broken up a little bit and it doesn't look that flattering. I just think that this foundation is a little bit too mattifying for my particular skin. I do have like a normal skin type. It kind of leans on the drier side of things, but I can normally get away with using both mattifying and dewy foundations, just kind of depending on the foundation. But yeah, just in general, I just think that it doesn't look fabulous. It's not terrible, it's not the worst foundation by any means, but I do just think for $70 that I just, you know, I'm expecting magic over here, guys. So yeah, 6 hours in, it's, you know, not horrible, but it's, you know, it's not the best. I still prefer the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation for sure, but I do have to say that I really like the blush. I love that it is still visible on my cheeks. Normally blush is something that just like vanishes on me basically. So I really am loving the blush. I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it this summer, but as far as the foundation, you know, what do you guys think? I just think it's kind of average. Here is a nice and close up so you guys can see kind of in that chin area and even that like pores, like that is very close. But yeah, that is kind of where we're at with it. But it's not terrible. But that blush, guys, that blush though. Guys, this is what a NYX section looks like at London Drugs. It's just like heaven. There's just basically all the NYX things ever. It's like a little store within a store. I always swing by here. My favorite blushes. Hello. My favorite blush palette. Hello. Acne is so passe. I feel ya, Normaderm. I feel ya. Guys, my appointment went much quicker than expected, so I am going to head into Winners because I love the Medicine Hat Winners. I always find good stuff here. Guys, if you're ever in Medicine Hat, come to this place. This is called the Fresh Healthy Cafe. I come here every single time and it is just my absolute favorite. They have this kale pineapple smoothie and it might be my favorite thing. So I don't know if it's like a franchise, I don't know the deal. They should open one in Calgary. Just saying, but yeah, seriously, so good. Alright guys, I just got to my hotel room here in Lethbridge. It has been a long day, mainly of driving, but it has been good. This is just what the room looks like, in case you are wondering. Nothing fancy, but it'll do just fine. Just wanted to check in with you guys for my final check-in for the day on this foundation and blush. Now from far away, like even as I just hold out my phone like this as I'm recording, it looks good, like it looks fine. But in my car mirror, and let me just bring this in for the real thing. If I show you, like, you guys, look at how bad that is. It's like caked up. It's like clinging to dry patches. Like it's mainly, you know, just in that chin area where I have some issues. But yeah, this is just not my favorite foundation. It just doesn't work well with my skin, but I think, like I said, if you have oilier skin, you might really like it. If you have tried it out, make sure you leave a comment down below letting us know either way, because I'm very curious, because I'm sad, guys. I really thought that this foundation was going to be awesome. But if you are looking for, you know, a high-end foundation, I would recommend the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I really love that one. And also the Lancome Tint Ultra Idel, something like that. I'll link it down below. It's a really nice high coverage foundation as well. So yeah, this foundation for me is unfortunately a pass, but I will try it again, maybe with some different primers, and I will update the description box if my mind changes on something. But as far as the blush, I love this blush. Like, I never can notice blush on my cheeks by this point in the day because, ooh, I should tell you, it is now 7 p.m. It is late. Like, this has been on my face now, all of this, for over 11 hours. And yeah, I really like that blush. I think it just gives a really, healthy, kind of like radiant, youthful type of glow. So yeah, I really like the blush. I'll continue to use that for sure. But like I said, the foundation is a pass for me. So yeah, if you guys like videos like this where I kind of take you along with me throughout my day, make sure you give this one a thumbs up so I know. And thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. It means so much to me. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, an amazing week so far, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!